Stay tuned. We will start the Boss Health Matters podcast shortly. Please go and like, share, and subscribe to help us reach more people. If you have any questions or answer, you can text or call 1-855-NOW-BOSS, 1-855-669-2677.
We're opening up the phone lines. Let's see who's on the other end.
Thank you for calling. Please hold for the next available representative.
We're opening up the phone lines. Let's see who's on the other end.
Thank you for calling. Please hold for the next available representative.
Stay tuned. We will start the Boss Health Matters podcast shortly. Please go and like, share, and subscribe to help us reach more people. If you have any questions or answer, you can text or call 1-855-NOW-BOSS, 1-855-669-2677.
This is the Boss Health Matters podcast, where the body is the boardroom, the soul runs the company, and the divine is the CEO. We don't guess, we detect and correct. You're tuned into the Boss Health Matters podcast. Hey there, it's Gregory Hall, your host, aka the Quantum Health Boss. If you didn't know, the body is the boardroom, and the soul runs the company, and the divine is the CEO. Today's guest has spent over 15 years teaching people how to detect what's toxic, not just in their body, but in their bathroom cabinet. She's been inside fertility clinics, beauty labs, and boardrooms, and she's here to expose the industries doesn't want you to know. I want you to welcome environmentally health educator and fertility coach, Afshan Hussain.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me here to talk about this very important topic. I'm really honored to be here.
The show's all yours. Let us know a little bit about you and what's going on today.
Yeah, so my name is Afshan Hussain. I'm the founder of PregnancySafeCosmetics, and my company runs toxin reduction programs in over 20 fertility clinics, 10 wellness clinics, and a dental practice, and we are growing. Our approach to toxin reduction is completely different. It's a functional approach to toxin reduction. We see toxins we see ingredients as inputs. And so, it doesn't mean that an ingredient's either toxic or then it's what I call the category of the shrug the shoulders. Oh, it's not carcinogenic. It won't kill you. So maybe it's okay. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's, going to be bad. Maybe in some cases, maybe not. And you're left wondering. We don't do that. We look at every ingredient as an input, and we kind of look at that alongside your labs, your health history, your health goals. We look at a bunch of things like your nutrients, other inputs like nutrients, supplements, medications. And we try to see, okay, what is this ingredient doing in your body? And it might be toxic for one person and it might not be toxic for others. And as we get into the podcast, I'm sure I'll give you examples. So
thank you so much for, letting us know exactly what you do. And I just want to remind you guys, it's a short impromptu podcast. I know we're supposed to go live today at 6, but we're going a little bit early here because this is very important, because I do have, some clients or some potential clients that are not getting pregnant and been searching for the right, maybe the right coach, the right clinic, the right information. And if you have any questions, or if you're watching this live, you want to share this out to somebody, and serve. Please share that out, and go ahead and like, share, and subscribe right now. But if you have a call or a question, you can go in the chat or call 1-855-NOW-BOSS. That's 1-855-NOW-BOSS. We want them to be the boss of their body so they can get, the child that they want. Maybe they want to change some diapers. I've changed a lot. I don't know why you want to, but Afshan, I think you said that you deal with 98 or basically natural products, and you go ahead and look for bad products. Did you say something about that you're in Europe?
Yeah. So basically, I have this fertility program, which has fabulous results, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But I also, part of the reason why I have fabulous results is because I make personal care products in Europe, and all of them are. Why are they made in Europe? Because Europe bans 2,500 cosmetic ingredients. We're not talking food ingredients. We're talking just like bath and beauty ingredients. 2,500. America bans 11. So there's a huge big difference. Even some of the things that you'll go to EWG, Skin Deep, or Yucca app, and they'll give you some kind of, it could be a 3 to an 8. And you're like, well, is this a 3 or is this an 8? Because 8 means bad, 3 means okay. And that's because, we don't know how much of something is being used, and we don't know what else is being used. So it could be a 3, it could be an 8. Well, in Europe, they have such strict rules about percentages and what you can mix it with and this and that. America doesn't have it. So I make all my products here in Europe. Each product is 98, 99, or 100% of total ingredients natural. Natural does not mean oil or anything like that. It means plant-based or other natural ingredients, or they're organic and they're certified as such. And it's not a paper certification. It's like someone goes into the manufacturing site and verifies that what's on the label is in the bottle, and vice versa, and that everything is right. And so that I spend half the year here and then half the year in California. And my products are all made only for Americans, but I get them made here. So that's what I do. And that's part of why, everyone, I think is a big part of the success of my patients getting pregnant, because I have a great success rate. And if you're interested in those products, you can go to PregnancySafeCosmetics.com/shop. And if you're interested in getting a free list of ingredients to avoid, go to the same website, PregnancySafeCosmetics with an S.com, and just sign up for the newsletter. You'll get a 26-page list of ingredients to avoid for free. It'll be kicked back to you automatically. So it's a great free resource.
Can you send me a message or put it into the comments to
Yeah,
the website, and I'll make sure it goes into the bottom ticker here.
Yeah, definitely.
I really was flabbergasted to say these figures. 2,500 items are banned in Europe, but
Yeah.
only 11 of them are banned in North America or in the US. And
That's right.
That's like 227% of people making money off of your health.
Yeah. And it's really bad given the current fertility crisis, because, I don't know if people understand, but let me just put it into perspective with you, give you a few statistics. Ooh, there's a little noise there. Okay, so in 1971, the average, let's talk about male fertility. Can everybody hear me? Because there's a little static here. I don't know.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So in 1971, the average man walking around in America had 97 million sperm per milliliter. That number dwindled down to, about 47 million per milliliter by 2011. Fast forward to 2021, they did a state by state average sperm count in 48 states plus Washington, D.C., and Mississippi was at 25.7 million. Sperm per milliliter, per little milliliter. And you might think, oh my God, 25.7 million, that's huge. Actually, it's not huge, because what you need to know is sperm count has never never plateaued, never gone up. It's only ever gone down, down, down. And so if you take the minimum rate of decline, and you just say, well, it goes down every year, at least this much. Let's see what happens in 10 to 15 years. In 10 to 15 years, 7 states in the United States will have an average sperm count of 0. We are definitely, it's not that people don't want to have kids, it's that people who want to have kids cannot. And male factor is huge. Like the environment that we live in is really detrimental to a man's fertility. And
So
I
it's not
take,
it's sorry, but it's not only about women, it's about us too.
oh, it's mostly about you guys.
Wow.
I don't take huge numbers of patients. I take about 10 couples a month. And that's because I give, I really spend a lot of time with my patients about it. And one session's about an hour. And anybody who, by the way, another great free resource is you go to PregnancySafeCosmetics.com, click on fertility program page. You'll see that we work with the CNY Fertility Network, but we also work with people just trying on their own. We're not limited to people who are in fertility clinics. Go down to the middle of the page past the first little video there, fill out the short form, and I'll give you an hour consultation for free, looking at your labs, looking at everything, and helping you, giving you some insights. And of course, I'll tell you about what I do, but if you don't want to work with me, that's fine. You get an hour. My love language is to serve. And so if I can help anyone, it fills me up. It makes me just, it gives me what I need to get through the day and feel good about my life. So there's no reason why you shouldn't just, fill out that form, leave your phone number, someone and your email, someone will get back to you and we'll make an appointment. We'll get on Zoom and we'll talk for an hour and you'll have a direction. And yeah, so it is huge. Right now I have 5 patients. I'm onboarding another 4, but the 5 that I have, one of them is a choice baby, so the woman is using sperm donors, but the other 4 couples, all of them have male factor. Male factor, all of them have some issue with a man. Something. He's got high prolactin, he's got high hemoglobin A1C and homocysteine, he's got DNA fragmentation, and most of the stuff the fertility clinics will not test for. Like one of the things we do when people come into us and they're like, oh, well, why do we need all this lab work? Like you can just help me reduce toxins and I'll leave that for the clinic or my OBGYN.
Yeah.
And right away I say, no, we look at a bunch of things that your clinic is not going to look at.
Yeah.
And just am I on a timer? Can I pipe in and give a little example?
No, yeah, go ahead.
So, one of my clients came to me and she said, I don't know what it is, but I'm low on all my hormones. I'm low on my estrogen, my progesterone. I'm low on my DHEA. I'm low on everything, AMH. And maybe it was because I had ADHD and I was on medication when I was young. And I said, no, I don't think it's that. I said, what's your cholesterol doing? Because all these hormones actually come from cholesterol. And she said, it's high. And that was a really important question for me because if your cholesterol is low, it means you don't have enough cholesterol to make these hormones. But she's got high levels of cholesterol. So then I said, that's interesting because your cholesterol should be transforming into these hormones and it's not. It's blocked up in there. So then I said, well, what is your thyroid doing? Because if you don't have enough thyroid, then you won't, the enzymes that kind of convert the cholesterol into
you
these.
need a THC.
Yeah, you need enzymes that are thyroid driven. So I said, and her T3 was bottom out, but her TSH was kind of normal. So that nobody caught it. And I said, and this is another thing, like traditional medicine's like, oh, you have high cholesterol, see a cardiologist. Oh, you have low sex hormones, see a fertility doctor. But we don't, our body is not like a set of cars on a train separate. Our body is like a set of cogwheels, interlocking, and it's all working together. So the cholesterol works with the sex hormones and you got the thyroid. So then I didn't stop there. I said, okay, you've got really low thyroid that needs to be treated, but let's see what you've got in your environment that's tanking your thyroid. Turns out she was having like all these soy and cruciferous vegetable shakes in the morning and using loads of ingredients in her toothpaste and a bunch of other things that just tank your thyroid. So you gotta look at it, together. And once you know that, you know what kind of nutritional changes to make, what kind of supplements to give. And, my couples that go through it, I just had a couple who just went through an IVF the first time. She didn't have PCOS. She was 36. She had 40 eggs retrieved and 19 embryos. That's unheard of for someone in their 30s.
Yeah. Yeah.
And part of the reason why they get such great success is because why I worked with another doctor who used I don't know if you're familiar with, there's a test you can do that tests your cellular age. And so you get the test done and you might be 42, but your cellular age might be 34. Or the reverse, you might be 38, your cellular age is 44.
Well,
And
I use biofeedback. That's what I
yeah.
use.
So this doctor, we used it to test women and then send them off and see how they did in IVF. And the ones who were younger did great in IVF. The ones who had an older cellular age did poor. So then once we knew that, I said, okay, I'm going to try different protocols. I'm going to try NMN from Do Not Age and, all these different like biohacking supplements. And let's see what mix brings brings that age down. And so I have my protocol that really works. And and it's tailored. So I got to look at lab work to kind of say, but my patient, it's not a just happenstance that or a coincidence that here's the woman, she's in her late 36, over the age of 35, and her body is producing these eggs like she's in her low 20s, 40 eggs, 19 embryos. She doesn't have PCOS. She doesn't have a bunch of follicles. She's never gone through, it's her first IVF. So that's unheard of, and that's the kind of result you get when you put everything together. And sometimes it's not, that complicated. I had another patient came in and she said, oh, I've got unexplained infertility. The doctors say that my IUIs are not working. I got to go for IVF, and I'm so depressed because I don't know. They say they found nothing wrong with me. I looked at everything. She was really clean too. Like all her
Yeah.
bath, she had stopped wearing makeup. Everything was super clean. I was like, yeah, I might be stumped here because I don't see anything either.
Yeah.
And then I asked her, I said, do you have any other symptoms, anything weird going on? Because I was like, something's got to give. She said, I can't sleep. I wake up every half an hour unless I'm on 6 milligrams of melatonin, but my doctors at the fertility clinic tell me to stop taking that because if I get pregnant, I can't be on that much melatonin. First thing I said to her, are you using nanohydroxyapatite toothpaste? She said, yes, I've been using it for a couple years. I said, okay, so nanohydroxyapatite, it's a nano version, calcifies the pineal gland, which drops your melatonin and you're unable to sleep. But your follicles, your eggs sit in these like in these sacs. And these sacs, the follicles, they actually are like bathed in follicular fluid made up of melatonin. So when your melatonin drops in your body, your melatonin drops in that follicular fluid and it tanks your egg quality.
Wow.
So it was that one ingredient. And I said, go back to your clinic, tell them to put you on 6 milligrams of melatonin for 3 months. So because it takes 3 months to make an egg, a
Yeah.
quality egg. When you spit out an egg or you spit out sperm, it takes 81 days. So whatever you put into your body for 81 days, that sperm is going to reflect it. Whatever you put into your body for 3 months, that egg is going to reflect it. You got to be good for 3 months. And then you can drop it down. You can drop it down to 3 and then drop it out. So that's the kind of thing that we do. Otherwise, I mean, who's gonna Yucca app and EWG says nanohydroxyapatite's like a 0. It's great, it's wonderful. It's like, and on their scale, there's nothing wrong with it, but there is. And you got to look at, what's your health goal, and is it good for you given your health goal, given everything else that's going on?
Yeah, it's very interesting that you mentioned the hydroxyapatite because I tell, my clients, because I'm a quantum reflex analysis practitioner, to check their first morning urine pH. Why? Because it's going to let you know what's going on with that calcification, and finding that out quickly, and I really commend you for that. So
Yeah.
I want to get into some questions here, but if anybody does have any questions, either live or whenever, just make sure you call, and we'll make sure that Afshan gets uh, the questions. So you've been in both the health and beauty worlds. What is the moment that you realize something's not right here?
So I wanted to have a baby and really finally got pregnant when I just cleared out everything. I didn't own a microwave. I had nothing in my fridge. I would cook everything, go down to the market, cook everything fresh at farmers market, and just eat everything fresh. I was barely using any makeup except like, organic makeup. And then I got pregnant and I had my daughter early. She was born premature, 2 pounds, 8 ounces, and at 30 weeks. And at that point, I was in the hospital and the doctor came through and I had my bottle of organic essential oils mixed by Clarence. And he looked at that thing. He was Spanish. And the thing is, in Spain, they know about the harms of essential oils because this is the other thing that I always say. Clean beauty is not fertility safe. Clean beauty is not, pregnancy safe or lactation safe. It is not, guys. Uh, Rosemary extract is fine for everyone except if you're trying to get pregnant and it'll impede the embryo from implanting. And essential oils are fetal toxic and embryo toxic. They make your baby small for gestational. And that was my daughter's problem. And I was slathering that stuff head to toe after every shower, like every other day. So this doctor saw that bottle and said, what is that? Is that essential oils? And I said, yeah. And he's like, oh, you should not be using that as a pregnant woman. You should put that away. Don't use it. He didn't say anything else. Like just kind of like, looked at me and then scooted. And I was like, note to myself, I had to figure out what that was about. And so, of course, I had her, and it took me a couple years. And then when I went back to work, I actually joined a beauty brand consulting firm at around 2021. And 2022 was when the United States implemented MACRA, the Modernization Act of Cosmetics Regulation Act. And the thing is that they had not changed their law since 1938, but they only really gave themselves the right to step in and stop a company if a lot of people had adverse reactions. They did not ban anything new. 11, cosmetic ingredients before MACRA, after MACRA, 11 ingredients ban. But I was tasked with kind of looking and comparing and contrasting, putting together this big report of American laws versus US laws. And also looking at like the way the business like works in America. And that was the eye opener because in America, you want to sell anything that's bath and beauty. You want to sell it in Target, you want to sell it in Walmart, you want to sell it in Walgreens or pharmacy or Sephora or Ulta. These are the big places where everybody gets all of their cosmetics. But these guys will, not bother. They will refuse you unless you have proof of warehouse and you have proof of stock. And the kind of stock they want, the kind of warehouse they want, necessarily pushes brands to use parabens and all these toxic kind of, preservatives. And even the clean, like alternatives, like phenoxyethanol, it's toxic. It's toxic to the placenta. It's toxic to your thyroid. It's toxic. So even the clean beauty ingredients that are alternatives to traditional preservatives, they're all toxic. So 1,2-hexandiol. I mean, and in America, we don't have this concept we do in Europe of like fresh cosmetics that are built to once you open it, it's got a 6 to 18 month shelf life, and then that's it. America, they want 8 years. So that once I started understanding that, I was like, okay, there's virtually nothing in America. There's nothing. And then I went from manufacturer to manufacturer to manufacturer to manufacturer to see if I could get something really quality because I knew I wanted to go in this direction. And at first I didn't do the coaching. I just did the products.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find any quality products. So I went to Europe. I said, we're going to do it in Europe. And as soon as I started, going on Instagram. For anyone who wants more information, follow my I don't have a ton of social media. I just have Instagram at Pregnancy Safe Cosmetics. It's a great account. I share other people's stuff, not just my own, so you can have a community and not just rely on me. But I started sharing all this research, and Dr. Kiltz from CNY Fertility came to me and said, I want you to put together a course or something. And we talked on Carnivore Conversations a couple of times, because my health was very, very, like, there was a time in my life I had my early 30s really difficulty, and I kind of switched to meat-based eating, and that helped me a lot. And that was it. Like, that got me into the coaching, and now I think we have one of the best programs with absolutely amazing success rates. And the best part of it is it's cheap compared to other coaching programs, because anything you buy in my shop gets deducted from my coaching consulting. So, people come to me and I'm like, go on a shopping spree, and whatever you buy, I'm going to deduct that from the coaching fee. So they don't have to pay me coaching. They just pay me for the products, and they go out, and it's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Was
So
there
that's how-
ever any pushback from companies or doctors when you started connecting toxins to outcomes?
So, I actually called the Yuka app, and I connected with the CEO, and it was actually over LinkedIn, and I tried calling them. I tried connecting over LinkedIn. Finally, I got her, and I said to her, I said, I would like to put together an app, or have you put it together. I'll help you. And I offered at the time to kind of get her to, create something that's a little bit more functional, like the way I describe it, instead of saying something is toxic or not toxic or giving it a number, specifically getting into whether it affects fertility, pregnancy, or lactation, and sending that information to a practitioner rather than putting it public. Because when you put it public, these companies sue you, and she said no, she wasn't interested. She had mentioned like how they had been sued, how they have to be very careful, and how they're gonna like stick to, what they're doing. And so that to me tells me, same thing with EWG. I had called them a number of times, left messages, sent emails, and on a few ingredients. And the first time I sent it, they changed their rating on those on one of the ingredients from a 3 to an 8. Now it's back to a 3 again. So where I see the pushback is like ingredient safety. People who talk about ingredient safety, they're the ones who push back the most. There's a very famous PhD toxicologist who now talks about on Instagram. She's on all the podcasts. And I told her, what about titanium dioxide? Why aren't you calling this ingredient out? Because she was suggesting safe alternatives for certain products that had titanium dioxide. And I said, there's a problem with that. Because if it's pigment grade, and it's pigment grade, and it's in a wash-off product, it's fine because it's big. But these nanoparticles, or that's not at all okay. And sunscreen, it's not at all okay. Like, you shouldn't, have nanoparticles. If it's pigment grade, fine. But you need to know your grade. And she pushed back too. So I see a lot of pushback with people who are actually supposed to be in the business of like telling you if it's toxic or not, because they don't want to. They want to give you some range that saves them from being sued by these companies. That's what I see.
What's the one thing that you commonly see with your clients that we need to throw away right now that that we got?
So it depends on whether you're doing, I would give you then the two categories: those who use clean beauty, and those who use traditional beauty. Those who use traditional beauty, it's going to be your perfumes, if you're trying to conceive, because phthalates actually are very damaging to the, like, your, like, now it's not allowed in any fertility clinic at like CNY, most of the big ones, when at all, for the people, for the staff to wear perfume, because all perfume has phthalates in it. It's what allows you to kind of keep the scent on you. It's also what makes your like conditioner work. People think that it's all the oils and the, I don't know, whatever, coconut oil. It's not. It's the phthalates.
Yeah.
Makes plastic soft and it makes your hair. These things absolutely kill male fertility. And if you're pregnant and you're using phthalates, your child can be born with the phthalate syndrome, which means that the distance from the male sexual organs to the rectum is small. Then when they get to be toddlers, their testicles don't drop, and then when they get to be teenagers, by the time they're puberty or just past puberty, they don't have reproductive like abilities to the and then later, because they don't have those abilities, their cardiac health and other health suffers. So it's like a lifelong problem, because when you don't have good sperm health, good testosterone, and guys don't supplement with testosterone, it'll kill your fertility. You don't have good health. So I would say get rid of the perfumes, get rid of the scented candles, get rid of anything with parabens in it, get rid of your toothpaste with triclosan in it. These are major horrible ingredients. And on the other hand, if you're a clean beauty, don't use anything if you're trying to conceive or pregnant with essential oils. Essential oils are very complex. You can have certain essential oil derivatives that are okay, but not whole essential oils. Don't use anything with rosemary extract if you're trying to conceive. It'll stop and it'll impede your body from your embryo from implanting. And then the biggest thing is like in your clothing, and stay away from anything that has BPA in it. So your plastic water bottles will have BPA, anything plastic containers that you cook food in or store food in, your coffee cups are lined with BPA, aluminum cans are lined with BPA, your Lululemon clothing is sticking BPA, and your BPA blocks, I mean, like stops you from getting pregnant. And in studies, it's up to between 45 and 55% women who are exposed to BPA don't get pregnant. Like it's that much. Like you take the BPA away, your pregnancy rates jump 45 to 55%. It's huge. So BPA is one of like the worst offenders with like stopping you from getting pregnant. BPA is on receipts, so you want to switch for digital, opt for digital receipts, not paper receipts, wear clothing from like Packed. Um, and yeah, get rid of the plastics, get a reverse osmosis filter in your water, because otherwise you have atrazine, you have all kinds of stuff in your water from, birth control to you name it. And the other thing, of course, is go organic with your food, with your organic grass-fed for the meat. If you're doing chicken, do the air chill chicken, because organic chicken is dunked in bleach for about 30 minutes. And we're basically eating bleach-filled organic chicken. So unless it's air chilled.
Okay, you definitely gave a lot there.
Yeah. Well,
My biggest thing, right? I always try to find the best of the best of the best. But how do you balance efficacy and purity? And can natural products really perform?
yeah, they can. Let me tell you. I mean, that the thing with natural products is the price. If they're truly, really natural, because a lot of natural products in America, first of all, two things. So anyone can say their product is natural if they have one natural ingredient. A lot of people and a lot of brands in America will have one or two organic ingredients and label it organic, and the rest of it is toxic. You need to make sure that you have a percent of total. What percent of total is natural or organic? Is it 98, 99, or 100%? You should be looking for that, number one. Number two, once you've got that, make sure it's certified as such, because there's no laws in America. You can say I'm 100% organic and then have no certification. There's no way for us as a consumer to know if it's true or not. Make sure you got the certification, make sure you've got natural. Now, I mean, manufacturer and the formulators there have to compete with all the other European products, like the big labels. And let me tell you, they compete. The products are amazing, and I use them all the time. And I think they're better than most of the really high-end products. I used to use all of the, all of the high-end products before I kind of knew they're toxic. And yeah, I mean, $100 bottles of cream, night cream. And I'm telling you, these are much more powerful. But the thing is, those $100 bottles of cream might have cost the manufacturer, I don't know, $3 to $5 for the bottle, and they're selling it to you for 100. When you go small batch and go certified organic, I mean, some of those bottles cost the brand 15, 20, and then you've got to figure in the shipping to America from Europe. That's also very expensive. So it's the cost. That's the biggest, it's not the efficacy. You get efficacy, but it's costly. That's the problem. So
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us, we always look at the price tag and try to see if it's something that we can fit in our budget, but we can never fit that that
see,
hefty bill at
that's
the
why.
IVF and all that other stuff into the budget, right? We just find the money and do it, but we never find the money to actually, live healthy and get the healthier products most of the time. But
Exactly.
with
Exactly. And
you,
that's
and me, we'll keep on educating that we can save ourselves a lot of headaches. But one topic I really wanted to talk on a little bit more, because you did mention that your daughter was born premature. I mean, yes, you're a fertility coach and we want to get people pregnant, but even I had dealt with miscarriage, and I think we need to talk a little bit more about how we can support women and men. Because I mean, you said men are a lot to do with the infertility, but we pass it over to the woman. Like,
mhm.
how can we support them a little bit more with maybe some of their choices to feel better while they're pregnant? Because the hormones are going off, and you want to feel good and look good, right?
So
Um,
the first thing.
tights, and those things, and makeup. I don't know. What's your opinion?
So, first thing, when it comes to miscarriage, a lot of times a woman miscarries because, the DNA in the sperm was fragmented. DNA fragmentation in sperm is a huge cause for miscarriage. They just came out with a study also saying that most of the eggs that don't make it to 5 day blast, like an egg and a sperm meet up in the IVF lab, and then they kind of wait till they get a 5 day embryo, because once it gets to 5 days, that embryo, you can grade it, and if it's normal and it's graded well quality, then you just have to stick it in the woman and it implants right away, and implants like within 2 to 3 days. So the thing is that now they have the technology to know when the embryo stops growing. Was it because of the man or the woman? And they're saying, and it's on, I can send the study. I didn't make it up. And there's a study, and it says majority of eggs that don't make it to 5 days is due to the man. And so there's this science that says that the first 3 days it's the women's genetics, but day 3 to 5 it's the man's genetics. And by genetics, I don't mean your genetics and your DNA. I mean the DNA in the sperm that gets fragmented or not. Why does it get fragmented? You can chat GPT this, guys. I'm not making it up. It's all lifestyle. It's all lifestyle. It's all the endocrine disrupting chemicals and toxins that you put into your body that create something called oxidative stress. And think of it like rust. You gotta then counteract that by upping your supplements that help the mitochondria and reduce the oxidative stress. But basically, that's what fragments your DNA in the sperm. And this is what kind of leads to massive loads of problems with miscarriage. And it's this touchy subject because you don't want to say to a couple that went through miscarriage, oh, you could have done something to, have this not happen. But, you do want to be aware. Women who come off birth control often have ectopic pregnancies and that type of miscarriage. And there's a link between birth control and the suppression of all the normal hormones that you don't get. And then all of a sudden you come back and you have ectopic pregnancies. That's very common, actually. So, when you start understanding the science behind these things, supporting a woman is great. One best way to support a woman, don't put pressure on her to wear makeup and wear these leggings, or buy her the packed, or buy her the, I always say, clean, truly clean, organic, like makeup that's not, that's pure and certified, that's expensive. It's a form of biohacking. So think of it as biohacking. And the reason why I tell my clients, don't pay me the consulting fee, just go to the shop. If my consulting fee is going to be $1,500, go spend $500 or $800 in the shop and get those products, and then the remaining of my fee you can pay me. And that's kind of how I do it, because buying clean beauty should be seen as biohacking. It's like a supplement, because
Yeah.
it can be. And same thing with your packed clothing, and same thing, or your other kind of organic, whatever brand you use, if packed is only one brand. But you gotta do it. It's biohacking.
Yeah, I really love that. And a lot of the stuff that you're saying, I've been preaching for a while, but I think because I'm a man, there's a lot of women that don't listen to me.
No, listen to Gregory, guys, please. Tune in to Boss Health Matters, because it is real. It is real. And I love that. I love that you're talking about the soul. I love that you mentioned this, because there's another study that just came out. I'm going to post about it on my Instagram in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
And they found that women with trauma have certain like mRNA or something like that. They have more of something, and it goes through into the breast milk and into the children. So they have somehow found out that when you carry trauma, it changes something in your body that um, actually gets in the breast milk and then goes to the child, and it changes like the child. Some of them they have different metabolic profiles, they have different struggles. And so it's so important to understand that we are also not just about taking care of this physical body. It's taking care of your soul. It's taking care of each other in this community.
Have you ever used biofeedback with your clients to compare the labs?
To compare the labs, you mean pre, like before and after, or with each other, or
Either way. If you
yeah.
never, okay, good. I'm just saying, if you
Yeah.
never had, I'll definitely invite you to check it out and see. But when I scan, like, I can see right into the womb, and they're thinking a lot, and they're thinking way too much what the mom's thinking. And we really need to support the women in our community, so they're not stressed and they're not in trauma, and they are getting the proper nutrition.
Oh, yes.
The biggest thing that I see, in my neighborhood, is all the major grocery stores are all selling garbage. And
Absolutely.
if you're selling garbage right from the front door to the cash register, it's kind of hard to stay on the ball when it comes to eating organic, eating healthy. Like the lowest, I guess, low cost, no frills store near my house, it's very troubling to see when you go in the fruit and vegetable aisle, there's only like one little section. But I think there's one thing that I want you to leave us with. And, I love to educate, parents before they have the child. But what if a young woman or a young man has just turned 16 and they're old enough to start taking care of their own health education, what would you teach them to do right now?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I would try to teach them, I think, eat organic, um, low on the sugar because we have a metabolic, like we have crisis. Like I think the other day I was listening to a podcast. It's like 50% of Americans are pre-diabetic or diabetic. And it's like really we have an epidemic with how much, you know, how crazy we are for carbohydrates. Like go low on the carbs, eat organic, get the plastics out of your life. Make sure you're aware of the ingredients you put on your body, especially starting in puberty, because there are the top three effects is fertility, cancer, and then puberty. You know, it's messing up like children's puberty. The girls are getting their periods at 9. Average age of puberty is 9 now. So, in America, that's crazy. I don't know what it is for boys, but not much older, I don't think. And so we need to start. And I have an 8-year-old daughter. I sit her down and I make her. And she's like, I want McDonald's. I'm like, okay, sit down here. Let's watch an Instagram reel on how these McDonald's like patties get made. And she's like, I don't want McDonald's. That's meat. Like, what's that? And I make her watch it. I make her watch it so that she starts understanding. And she asks me, is that fake food or is that real food? What is that? She asks me all the time. And so when it comes to food, and I say there are 5 areas you can get toxins: food and water, bath and beauty, clothing, household cleaning supplies, contact items, and food and office environment. So we need to kind of make them aware of it so that they can make good choices for themselves. And the hardest thing is the food. I think you hit the nail on the head, because it's hard to eat, with the modern day stresses of everyone's got to hustle, even the kids have to run to camp or do this or do that, and they don't cook, so how do we get them to eat well, and not have problems, not have eczema, not have like all these problems that I feel like this generation of kids has more than our generation and our parents. I mean, I look at the older generation, 80 years old, they're in better health than us
Yeah.
in our 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, you know.
Well, I know exactly what they can do. They can do what my billionaire mentor says. He says that if you want to go faster, you got to pair up with a master. So make sure that you go down to the website here, scrolling at the bottom of the page. What's that website again?
PregnancySafeCosmetics.com. It's the word pregnancy, the word safe, the words cosmetics with an S.com.
And Afshan is going to make sure that whatever you're putting in and around your body is going to be healthy. And we don't need to wait until we want to have get pregnant. We want to start now. So we never know when the time might come when we will be pregnant. So we'll be prepared. And I think if we did this for everybody, we'll be building a stronger community. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah, I agree. And I will say something about my website. Don't Google it, guys. Just stick it in the URL, because there are a million articles on pregnancy safe cosmetics, and you'll get them first before you get mine. So just stick it in the URL. It'll come up, or smush the words together. It'll come up.
And I say with faith, skip the Google, because you're going to go to paid sponsored reviews. And the
Yeah.
only ones you should go to is Google Scholar or PubMed. So
Yeah.
definitely, I appreciate you coming on, Afshan, and I want to bring you back on again
Yeah.
in the future, because this is definitely a topic that is not going away anytime soon.
No, it's not. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for allowing me to speak on this, and God bless you.
All right, thank you so much. And awareness, oh, wrong screen. So yeah, awareness without action is wasted faith. Afshan you're helping people take action, not only by talking about toxins, but by giving families a way to live cleaner and conceive naturally and protect and live the next generation, or protect the next generation, is very important. The divine has led us to lead, not wait. We need to manage our body, protect your temple, and live like a boss. If this episode woke you up, share it with somebody who's planning a family or struggling. Maybe just with anything, because as we said, we want to build up a better community. And remember, we don't just guess about health, we detect and correct. If you would like to come onto the show, you're most happy to. Our next show is going to be at 6 a.m. with a breast cancer survivor. See you in a few minutes.
Do you feel in tune with your body? Nearly 70% of Americans don't. They say the healthcare system isn't meeting their expectations. Why? Modern medicine often focuses on symptoms, while innovation is slowed by bureaucracy, outdated systems, and cost. Millions of people are looking for empowering solutions that align with the body, rather than override it to support a longer, more vibrant life. Powerful wellness tools are available to help, but few know they exist. They can accurately allow us to assess and understand our body. Your body is composed of trillions of vibrating cells constantly communicating via subtle frequencies, just like satellite systems, Wi-Fi, and radio waves. These communication signals are part of your natural biofield, but daily exposure to environmental stressors, technology, and emotional pressure can influence those frequencies. This interference may affect how you feel, focus, and function. Supporting your body's natural frequency patterns may help you reconnect with clarity, calm, and balance. The question is, how can you tune into those patterns and learn from them? The answer is in the palm of your hand. Meet AO Scan technology. AO Scan is an advanced wellness program that simply helps support a healthy biofield. Using proprietary algorithms and a library of frequency blueprints, the AO Scan identifies variances and delivers supportive frequencies designed to encourage balance and harmony. What can AO Scan do for you? Here are just a few unique tools inside the system. Let's start with our most popular module, Cephi. Need support with energy, focus, or restful sleep? Cephi, or Subtle Energy Frequency Imprinter, helps you broadcast or imprint subtle frequencies aligned with your personal wellness goals. Choose from thousands of frequency playlists designed to support mental clarity, emotional ease, seasonal transitions, and more. Let's move to another powerful module within the AO Scan, Inner Voice. Your voice reveals more than words. It reflects your current energetic and emotional tone. Inner Voice records a 10-second voice sample and uses sound harmonization to create custom audio tracks that promote emotional awareness and inner calm. These tones incorporate elements like binaural beats, harmonics, and color suggestions for a multi-sensory wellness experience. Listen a few times a day to help cultivate presence, confidence, and emotional clarity. Up next, we have vitals, body systems, and comprehensive scans. These features offer a deeper look at your body's energetic patterns. Using blueprint frequencies, you can explore insights related to common themes such as energy flow, stress response, or physical resilience. Vitals gives a quick snapshot of frequency trends across multiple energetic themes. Body Systems maps frequency patterns associated with different functional systems. Comprehensive explores even more layers of vibrational data tied to organs, bones, and cells, offering expanded insight into your energetic profile. Next is Easy Scan. In just 6 minutes, Easy Scan combines 3 powerful features: Inner Voice, Vitals, and Comprehensive into one seamless experience. It delivers a unified frequency-based report that helps you explore and understand your current energetic state and how to support it through daily practices. Feeling unfocused or ungrounded? Try Quick Scan. It offers short wellness experiences throughout your day. Choose sessions like Supercharger, Relax, Grounding, or Focus. Each one is designed to support your mood and mindset. Last, but far from least, is AO MindSync. AO MindSync lets you record and customize powerful affirmations in your own voice. Combine tones, music, and emotional intent into a guided listening experience that helps reinforce your mindset and personal goals. All of these features, and many more, are designed to help you reconnect, realign, and restore balance to your biofield. As Albert Einstein said, the future of medicine is frequency. That future is closer than you think. It's already in your hands. Welcome to Possibility. Welcome to AO Scan,